Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Rivermead Leisure Complex. Tonight, NBL Division 1 action. Home team Reading Rockets host the visiting Essex Rebels. I am very happily joined by my good friend and now co-host this evening, Ben Fisher. Ben, welcome.
Evening, Mark. Really good to be here. Really looking forward to this one with you. Let's hope it's a good game.
Just seeing a wonderful shot of us, and we've got matching branding today. This is advancing very quickly.
Yeah, I've kept the body warmer on. It's a little nippy in the Rivermead air, shall we say?
It is a wee bit chilly, but let's get down to business already this evening. There's about 4 minutes and 15 seconds to tip off. Welcome everybody on the stream. There's a couple of us joining. Let's make sure we spread the word and get friends in. I should say this too, Fish. The building is really filling up here and still 10 or 15 people to come. Yeah,
really good to see lots of people in tonight. Sunday afternoon, supporting their home team. Hopefully word has got round that the Rockets are looking to be on the rise up the NBL Division 1 table. So, yeah, really good to see a nice full house here at the Mead.
Going to be an interesting evening tonight because Essex Rebels are going to be a sort of tale of two halves this season. They've a couple of late additions in Jake Einan and Lee Hodges has made this a completely different roster. What do you think about Essex this evening?
Yeah, I think Essex they're one of those teams where their results have not really matched their performances. I think they're a dangerous opponent for anybody. They've taken Thames Valley Cavaliers, Worthing Thunder very close in recent games. So I think they're a potential banana skin for the Rockets. It'll be a really interesting game to see how it plays out, especially with Lee Hodges in. That could be interesting with Lufiel out for the Rockets.
Yeah, and good segue there. So Meshach Lufiel nursing a bit of a knee injury. He's not in tonight, but the return of Danny Carter and now Tyler Carteno back in the lineup.
Yeah, and that's big for the Rockets. I think they've really missed Carteno in recent weeks, and having him back will be really beneficial, I think, for the backcourt. I think he'll play quite a bit of the 3 spot. He may have to have spells at the 4 with Lufiel out, but with obviously the addition of Carter, that kind of fills that void as well.
And Fish, you've been fairly close to the team this week. As we've kind of got 2 minutes or so to go before we go through the rosters, what's the message from Dan Pearson been leading up to this weekend?
Well, he's been very, really working hard on the scout for the Rebels. I think he feels they're a potential slip-up team for the Rockets. I think he'll be looking a lot at the inside coverage of Hodges. That's certainly one of the areas. He's been working hard to go through a number of their set offenses to look at how they're going to defend certain actions. But really, he likes to keep, everything pro-Rockets. What are they going to do? How are they going to play? And that's kind of been his focus this week.
Yes, superb analysis, Ben. That's brilliant. Let's have a quick look at the Essex Rebels lineup, and it looks like they will start with Jake Einan, Ben Winter, Tom Childs, Rory Winter, and Lee Hodges on the bench. Disu Hudson-Moore, Adeyeyi Akapofo and Ashley coming in for Essex. So if you're going to take a look at that, who are the ones to watch in the starters, Ben?
Well, I think all the 5 starters can contribute. Tom Child had 22 points against the Rockets in the away game. Jake Einan is coming from Ipswich and is a very influential point guard. The Winter brothers, I think, do a great job. Rory Winter's really established himself in Division 1. Ben Winter has been playing for a couple of years now, and I think he's a really good young British talent. And obviously Lee Hodges, as we've mentioned. I think it could be an interesting matchup for the Rockets early doors.
Absolutely, and the Rockets lineup, they're going to start with Pinnock and Carteno and Dixon in the backcourt. Actually, really four in the backcourt, as you say. Carteno may be playing that 4 spot, as Danny Carter and Jazz Baines make up the rest of the starters. On the bench, it's Ashley Kitchen, Lewis Champion, Sam Tolawese, Ronnie Agekwe is out injured. Also is Isaac Round and Meshach Lufiel. It's KV Live making up the last roster spot. So as you said, with Carter back in, I guess there's a little bit against Lee Hodges, because otherwise the big man may have had a bit of an easier time this evening.
Yes, I think that's it's a baptism of fire for Carter, coming straight, only his second game back and going up against one of the biggest guys in the league. So that'll be an interesting matchup for the Rockets, and interesting to see how they defend that as a team. I would think Coach Pearson will start Dixon at the 4. It'd be interesting to see if that's the case. He's had a couple of spells there whilst Carteno's been out, so we'll keep an eye on that throughout the evening.
Brilliant stuff. The guys are just hitting the floor now. One of the referees actually forgot their shirt pre-game, although I'm pleased to say he is not shirtless. He has found a shirt.
Yes, thank goodness for that.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us on the live stream this evening. Coach Thorne is in the house, as he does. Says Coach Norfolk has the best after timeouts I've seen in NBL Division 1 this year. So props to the coach there. 43 of us on the live stream. Let's get those numbers up by the time we get going. Need to be around 100. So let's get 100 in here and easily 100 here in the mead. We've got fans on this side of the floor with us, Fish, and as the bleachers are full, I think. So amazing turnout this evening. And thank you, everyone, for joining us as we get ready to tip this one up. Carter and Hodges to get this one underway, and it's Hodges tips it to Baines, and Reading will take the first possession of the evening. It's Baines at the top against Tom Child. This is Dixon just on the elbow. Jazz on the fade, nothing doing, goes screen and roll with Carter, gets down inside, and that's an easy one for Danny Carter to get us going.
Yeah, nice play, early play from the Rockets. Looks like Dixon is running the 4 spot. Carteno coming off the stagger there.
Straight into Hodges, and we knew this would be the matchup, and there's a lot of contact down there, and Hodges is barreled to the back wall, and Carteno is here 3 on 4 at the minute. Hodges late back, DC looking for a seal inside, but it's the little curl from Dixon, doesn't get it, but the tip from DC nearly goes. Pinnock, as I said last week, with a 19 rebound game or 17 rebound game. He's the best rebounding guard, gets his first of the evening. It's Carteno against Child, and goes to the fade and makes it on the baseline.
Yeah, tough from Carteno, but that's a good matchup for him. He's able to shoot over people as well, and he knocks down the baseline jumper.
This is Child, goes screen and roll with Hodges on the elbow. Nothing doing there as Dixon just fights over the top of it. That was Rory Winter and into Hodges. You can see the MO early from Essex. Little step around, might have got away with an extra step there, but Hodges goes to the left hand, and 4-2 Reading. Pinnock off and running. Easy one for Pinnock, and he's so good in transition this year, isn't he, Ben?
Yeah, a massive strength of Reece Pinnock, and he's establishing that early on in this game.
A little bit of a paint touch, but nothing doing there for Rory Winter. This is Child, and defended well by Dixon, who is a good on-ball defender, and a whistle there on Tyler Carteno, who probably doesn't want to pick up a cheap one like that, but called early on for our first foul of the evening. Straight into Hodges from the out of bounds, and these two know each other very well, and it's going to be a good battle. This time goes to the left shoulder, but nothing doing, and Hodges is furious with the contact. Pinnock on the run out. Carteno tries to get the bouncer to him. Rockets will reset through Baines. High screen with Carter. They'll re-screen this one. Carter usually good off the dribble, but leaves this one for Pinnock. He'll go to the step back behind 3. Way short. We saw that the minute it left his hands, and now with Jake Einan on this left wing. Reece has been shooting better this year as well, hasn't he? It's been quite a different period from ending last year to this one, where he seems a bit more aggressive on the offensive end. Yeah,
absolutely. He's really found his rhythm in terms of the 3 ball, as we just watch a replay of the foul there. He was 5 from 6 in the game against Team Newcastle away when the Rockets secured a 3-point win. So yeah, he's looking better from beyond the arc.
This is Charles with a high screen and roll at the top this time. Apologies if you're hearing any of the echo on my mic at the minute. This one is now 6-4. Rockets lead it. It's Pinnock looking for an option. Rockets slow to get into offense. There's 8 on the shot clock already. Down at 4. Carson will have to do something here. They don't think they've seen it. He sees it late. Was probably a violation, and it is called by the referee. Rockets very slow to get in their offense that time around.
Yeah, they are. I think they're just getting used to, obviously, from the last game, where Lufil and Carter were very effective inside, outside, sort of high post, low post actions. Not seeing as much today, so just trying to find a different way to score.
So we'll expect to see that a little bit later on, see if they can get into offense a bit quicker. This time it was Ben Winter on the drive. Gets it back and we'll go at Carteno again. Einan with the fading 3, doesn't get it to go, and it's Rory Winter this time. Gets himself inside after the rebound, and Pinnock will clear the boards. Danny on the trail, and as you say, Dixon at the 4 at the minute, which is an interesting for a 6'1" guard. Carter and Hodges. Nice touch from Danny inside, doesn't get that one to go, and he's defended well. Essex out and running. Easy pull this time for Rory Winter. Makes it, and we're tied at 6-6. Do you think Rockets will do something different on the offensive end against Hodges, or they want to keep going at him?
I think they'll probably want to keep going at him. I think they'll want to just sort of grind him down throughout the game. He's been in and out of this Essex team as Baines fires it.
Nothing doing for Baines on that one, and he also has been shooting better in the last couple of weeks, so it'd be good to see if he can get going. This is Charles and Hodges, easy roll, but Carter then nice cut on the baseline by Einan, who goes with the pretty reverse layup.
Yeah, nice movement by the Rebels.
And there's Carteno with the 1 dribble pull-up. You may have seen that in training this week by the sounds of the story earlier, Ben. But Tyler very good in that mid-range, isn't he?
Yeah, really something that the Rockets have probably lacked in recent weeks, and he's certainly bringing that to the party today.
Winter hands off to Einan. This child on this left wing. They'll go to Hodges again as they really trying to work things through the big man. Einan with another nice face cut. Defended better this time, but he goes to the turnaround and makes it, and it's 10-8 to Essex. Thought there was a buzzer, I think, but I don't think there was. And Ross Norfolk looking for a 5-second call on the baseline there. This is Carteno and Dixon. Dixon just slipping the screen, and this time it's Pinnock on the cut, does not get the reverse to go. Essex, I would say, off and running, but fairly relaxed down the floor. Einan hands off to Child. He pulls one and makes it, and Essex have made their last 3, and they're really going. 13-8 is the score now. And there's the pull-up from Tom Child. Ben, you said he had a good game out last time around.
Yeah, 22 points. He's been shooting the ball well in recent weeks. Statistically, not over the season, but I have to say, as the season's gone on, he's definitely improved and is knocking down a lot more threes for his Essex team.
Certainly looks like a guy, if you leave him open, he'll make it. I'm not sure what else is in the bag if you do pressure it, but yeah, not a guy you want to leave open.
Absolutely. A couple of changes for the Rockets as well, Mark. Lewis Champions in, and Sam T for the Rockets.
So this is where Sam T will play the 5, but so almost like a bit of small ball from Reading. This is Baines, little drop off to Pinnock, now Carteno, and the recently into the game Lewis Champion is Carteno on the fade, and he'll go at Rory Winter, pull up before Hodges gets him and makes another, and Tyler has had a really nice start to this one. Yeah,
really good. Reading the defense really well and just knocking down those pull-up jumpers.
Ben Winter gets it to Charles, and Einan, who's got going early, and this is where Reading might struggle on the defensive end because Hodges will eat these rebounds up, and it's Ben Winter through the middle with the 2-hander, and Essex keep on putting the pressure on. 15-10.
Yeah, great play by the youngster there. Nice ball movement by the Rebels.
Carteno's had the hot hand for Reading. 1 leg pull-up, doesn't get it to go. Pinnock hands all over it, doesn't get it to go, and this is Ben Winter after the 2-handed throw down, hands off to his brother Rory. Hodges, loads and loads of room against the undersized Toloazy, and it's on the floor, so Essex will have it on the baseline.
Yeah, 6.5 minutes into the game. Hodges still in the game, and that's going to cause some match-up issues for the Rockets, as we've just seen.
Yeah, Hodges a bit of a difference maker on this team, as it's very four-guard set, and Hodges for Essex. And it's Winter and now Tom Child, who we were speaking about earlier, beats Champion off the dribble, and Lewis fouls him, and he will go to the line for 2. He must have heard me about not having something else in his bag after time to shoot, as he then showed the dribble moves, and Champion just has to foul him inside and put him on the line.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Tom Child's got a little bit more to his game than just a perimeter shot, and has made you eat your words there, Mark.
Absolutely. What you're saying is I've completely misread it, and he's much better than I gave him credit for.
Absolutely.
92 now on the live stream. This will be the best game to watch in the league today of NBL or BBL, and I've just said it, and there's nothing anyone can do to stop me. So this will be the best stream. Stream team are in the house. Lots of cameras, lots of production. Tell your friends. It's going to be the one to watch. This is Pinnock. Tolowazy, who was in for Carter. Now Baines. Good if he could get himself going. Just gets the paint touch and drops off to Carteno. He goes right at Lee Hodges and puts it in with the left hand. And Tyler Carteno really pacing the Rockets in this first quarter.
Yeah, great off-ball movement by the Rockets there. Carteno curling and goes at Hodges this time and finishes with a tough lefty finish.
And there's that matchup inside again, and Hodges will just turn around and put it up over the rim, and he is furious with the officials. There's been 3 finishes with lots of contact, not one call for Hodges yet. I'm sure he'll get one eventually, and there's the skip. Nice touch. It was going to go out of bounds, and Baines absolutely buries it. Carteno, what a heads-up play to tip it to Baines, as the loose pass from Champion was going out of bounds. Winter on the drive, and he'll get himself inside and puts that in for 2, and Essex just not going away here, maintain their 6-point lead with 2 to go.
Yeah, 21 points in this first quarter. A little bit concerning for the Rockets.
It's the one Tolowazy likes, is that straight away, and Pinnock gets one, and Jazz almost in the same spot, not the same result this time, and Hodges, who really is the biggest guy on the floor by a long way, gets that one, and Baines just cannot keep it in bounds after he gets his hands to it. Director of coaching Matt Johnson in front of the camera to rescue the ball. There he is, a man of many talents. Some say commentary isn't one of them.
Well, I couldn't possibly comment on that one.
He won't watch this back. It's fine, he won't watch it back. Josh Moore into the game now for Essex. He's on that right wing, and it's Winter with the pull-up. Back rims this one, and Tolowazy skying in. It's Dixon with Carter now back on the floor. Champion looking for GC inside, gets it, and he's got a bit of a mismatch with Josh Moore. Nice cut from Baines, wanted to drop it off to Tolowazy, but lots of hands in there with the size of Hodges just anchoring the defense. This is Einan wide open and drills another. Nothing but net for Jake Einan. Be good to see the stats at the end of this one, but I imagine that Essex are shooting a pretty healthy percentage from the floor.
Yeah, absolutely, and this is what they do. They're a good shooting team, move the ball well.
Champion doesn't get what to go as Einan bumped the cutting Carter, allowed Lewis the 3 but doesn't get it to go. Hodges with a little give and go. Einan's made a few, looking at another one. This is Winter instead, and he makes another one, and Rory Winter along with the backcourt Jake Einan are tearing this one up at the minute. 27-15 with under 30 to go. Baines finds Dixon on the curl, looking inside, goes behind the back. Nice move from Dixon, goes for the up and under, and nothing doing as Hodges comes out to clear, and Essex will hold for the last shot. It's 10 seconds to go here. Einan versus Champion. He'll go screen and roll. Danny way far back on that one, and he buries another one from deep. And the Essex Rebels are up to 15 points ahead, 30-15. And Ben, this can't be what Dan Pearson had drawn up this week.
Absolutely not. The Rebels have come in here, as they do in every game, a spirited outfit, good ball movement, good shooters, and they've been on fire in this first quarter. They've knocked down a number of threes, and they have an incredible 15-point lead after 10 minutes.
Yeah, this is the point where Matt would usually say that the Rebels are on pace for 120.
Yes, he does like that statistic.
I don't think they'll get there, but pretty interesting look at the numbers. If you just take the, giving up 30, 15 ahead, Rockets have fouled 4 times, haven't forced any fouls from Essex. 0.
Yeah, and with Lufiel out, that is probably a bit of an issue for the Rockets. They really do need to establish their interior game. Interestingly, Lee Hodges has played all 10 minutes, so maybe he will come out the game, and that will provide an advantage to the Rockets in this second quarter.
You'll see the perimeter shooting from Essex on the replays as the stream team do their thing, and I mean, it's Einan with 10. Rory Winter has 7. Tom Child has 5. Lee Hodges has 6. I mean, the starters have done the damage here, and Reading are going to have to really work to get back into this one.
Absolutely, and I think we identified that before the game, that the Rebels' first 5, can all score, and have shown that in numbers in this first quarter.
As we saw Carter back in for Reading. This is Winter looking for more. Akpofor is in the game for Essex. He's going in the screen now with Einan, and he gets around that one, and that will be DC's first foul of the evening, I believe. Coaching staff of Reading over there having a quick look at the numbers, seeing what they are thinking about in the next kind of 3 to 4 minutes to get themselves back in this one. Einan with Akpofor again. It's Child on the lift. He will get this one and beats Carteno, gets inside and lays it up and in with the pretty finish. Josh Moore, very nice from the Essex veteran.
Yeah, a good start to the second quarter for the Rebels. It's continuing to move the ball well.
Carter will get by Akpofor, take a lot of contact and just finish. That's bread and butter stuff there for Danny, who's comfortable putting it on the floor from the perimeter. And
it'll be interesting to see if the Rockets continue to go inside with Hodges out of the game. That seems to be their advantage.
Einan goes at champion, gets him to foul. That will be his second. As you see Carter just barreling his way to the basket.
Yeah. Simple but effective is what I would say on that one.
Very nice indeed. Einan, who's done the damage, will now be guarded by one of the better perimeter defenders in the country. It's Pinnock against Einan, looks for the cutting Akpofor, doesn't get it. Josh Moore, who's had one, back rims that one, and it will be Tolowazy on the clear, and now Pinnock. This is Dixon, who skipped to the hot hand for Reading in the first quarter, which is Tyler Carteno. Throws that one away, but looks like it was tipped. Carteno with 8 of the Rockets' first quarter points.
Yeah, great defense by Pinnock on the last possession. Let's see if he can keep that up. Einan's checked out, so he'll be defending Tom Child by the looks of things.
Tyrese Hudson now in for Essex as well, with Akpofor, Josh Moore, Tom Childs, and Ashley. Josh Moore gets Carteno in the air, but manages to recover. Now Dixon off and running, but Josh Moore rips him back. Akpofor gets it inside a lot of bodies. Josh Moore will settle for the 12-footer and make it after it rattles around. Bit of a broken play there. Reading got to do a little bit better with taking care of the ball as this lead is growing. Dixon and Carter gets himself all the way inside, and there's 2 shots. I didn't see that was who came across. Oh, it was Tyrese Hudson who came across and got the 2-handed block, but Dixon bumped along the way. Part of the media crew here. Quick look at the photographers on the baseline. Seeing if they've got some good first half shots.
Absolutely.
Dixon makes the first one from the line, and a 16-point ball game. the comments section disagreeing with what will be the best game. I'm going overall best game with this and production. I'm a bit of a bias home teamer.
Yeah, mind you, anything to do with the Derby Trailblazers is always going to be a good game. They're playing some really good basketball at the moment.
And that's why I command the hot seat.
Absolutely.
And I stay here. Dixon lays it off to Carteno. Reading off and running in transition. Tyler gets another easy one, which will be good for him to keep his eye in. This is Josh Moore, who's crowded by a trio of Dixon, Carteno and Baines. As I've got my hand on this one, could do it all.
Yeah, might need you in the game shortly, Mark.
I'm good for at least 22 seconds.
Excellent. We need a slow shooter.
Slow is so nasty. Never mind. I'll take it.
Oh,
Essex trying to go inside to Akpoford, doesn't get it. He's wrestling that one around as Pinnock's going to come up with it. I think they won't. The Rebels come up with it and they'll throw it at the rim with Tyrese Hudson and it goes in.
Yeah, 2 of those now for the Rebels in quick succession. That will not please Coach Pearson.
Guard play really needing to secure the ball for Reading as it's Jazz Baines going to the step back, kicks to Carteno, gets Tom Child in the air, drives at Josh Moore and throws it down with 2 hands. Was a wee bit concerned for a second as he fell awkwardly, but he's back up.
Yeah, what a play by Carteno, really doing it all so far.
Absolutely, and this time DC tries to get one, and the hand in there is called by the officials.
And looks like an unsportsmanlike foul's been called as well, Mark.
It was Matt Dissou on the rip. I don't know if it was. Is it because it's behind the play?
Maybe because it was an attempt to play the ball. Yeah, not too sure.
I don't know. We do get another look at that one as DC prepares his 47-year-old back for the line. I'm just joking. Tough one that though, I think. DC makes the first.
Yeah, there it is again.
Yeah, just slightly difficult to say. I can only imagine because he's behind the play. It's not natural to defend from behind.
Yeah. Bit of a clumsy one, I'd say.
I'd agree. Reading got this down to 12 with just under 7 to go. Baines and Dixon, a bit of small-to-small screening. Carteno now on the lift and curl and defended better this time by Matt Dissou. Josh Moore helped by Tom Child and they'll be out and running. It's 4-on-2 at the minute. This is Josh Moore on the right wing. Front rims this one and DC with the clear, and that's what he brings you with Hodges out the game. Baines against Dissou, this time behind the back. Nice paint touch will find Carteno. He goes along the baseline again. Skips to you. Just about hit our table of loyal supporters down there. Yep. Thumbs up. Everyone's okay. Good to know. What a seat to have. They're as close to the action as you can get. They were part of it then.
Absolutely.
Dissou to Hodges, who's now back in the game. And on the baseline, 2-handed dunk from Tyrese Hudson. And there's some highlights in this one.
Absolutely. Another difficult moment for the Rockets.
Pinnock gets the ball up the floor quickly, and that's the man with the dunk previously. Hudson fouls Pinnock, but this backcourt really gives him trouble at the minute, isn't it?
Certainly is. Very lively, shall we say. And now with Danny Carter out and Lee Hodges back in, that's going to be an interesting period of the game for the Rockets.
Baines on the curl, goes past Josh Moore, gets all the way past Hodges as well. Looks like there may be a wet spot on the floor. They need to check that one. This is Matt Dissou going past his opposite number, Ben Dixon, but is fouled, and saw the replay there, and this is, as you see, Dissou go by Dixon. The one before on the Hudson dunk, we saw the referees in the way of it. I don't know if there's any photographers on the stream, but they love that one where the referee gets in front of the shot. And this is Tyler Carteno out and running, and that's what he does. Lead cut to 10. It's been as many as 17. Rockets fighting their way back into this one. Ross Norfolk wants to talk it over. So you'll see the Rockets bench a bit more buoyant this time, and Ross Norfolk getting his guys sat down. What do you think he's saying about the little run that Reading are on at the minute?
I don't think he'll be too concerned, to be honest with you. I think he'll be going back to what his team did previously, just moving the ball in the half court, taking the open shot. Hodges back in the game now, so probably playing a little bit more pick and roll with him in. And I think he'll just be saying to them, just take care of the basketball. A couple of turnovers from the Rebels have led to the Rockets scoring in transition, which is probably one of their strengths. But an interesting time in the game. 5.5 minutes left before the half-time interval. And it's back to a 5-basket contest.
Yeah, good timeout from Ross Norfolk, I think, as Tyler Carteno has just edged his way into the leading scorer of the game category. He's got 12. Jake Einen's got 10. Reese Pinnock with his equal-sized Lee Hodges with 3 rebounds each. Similar size, similar position. Although Carteno, I think, has 14 now. Excuse me, it's just updated. He has 14. Tom Child has 3 assists, and Carteno with the only block of the game. Josh Moore getting one inside. Lead back to 12, 5 to go. Pinnock with a handoff to Dixon. Through Carteno at the extended high post. That fade screen from Toloese. Now behind the arc this time, and Tyler Carteno keeps this one going and now has 17 in the half.
Yeah, great flare screen there.
Hudson again, two-handed jam. Sorry to cut you off, Fish. Finish your thought.
Yeah, no, that's a prominent part of the Rockets' offense, the use of the flare screen. The Rockets in their 1-2-2 press, but got exposed at the back.
This is Pinnock, right wing, and it's more small ball with Sam Toloese at the 5 here. Baines now coming off the screen, trying to dump it down to Toloese, just swatted out the air by Hodges, and that one thrown away by Josh Moore ahead of Tyrese Hudson. As we get ready to inbound, thank you everybody on the stream. 130 watching hours where we wanted to be. Feel free to drop us your comments with your opinions of the first half. Would love to hear them. Also going to be joined by Director of Coaching Matt Johnson at halftime. He's going to replace you for 5 minutes and tell us all about the BBL bid.
Excellent.
Exciting times at the club at the minute, huh?
Yeah, really good. We spoke about it last week on the stream in your absence. So it's good to have you back. Welcome back.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, really looking forward to seeing if that can come to fruition, and then if so, like how the club can grow and how it can be effective in the community. Our
guy, Coach Thorne, a Reading Rockets legend, and I'm going to say that because it's true.
Yes.
On the stream, frustrated at the transition. It's been a real thing for Reading for the last probably 2 seasons, I think. Transition's just been one of those things that has never been maybe as good as it can, but you know that sometimes you do lose those ones and it gets away from you, and sometimes you've got to accept it.
Yeah, I think sometimes if you are an offensive transition team, you can actually struggle in
that is the kind of
transition
thing,
to defense. Yeah, so
yep.
and that was the Rockets trying to press a little bit after a score. They're not getting there quick enough. So that's probably why a quick timeout from Pearson there, just to talk that over.
Good timeout from Dan Pearson. 11-point ball game, 4 to go, or just over 4 to go in this one. Dixon, Baines, Carteno, Toloese, and Pinnock. Dixon going against Hodges, trying to find some room. 4 on the shot clock. We'll need to get this one up. Baines from really deep, back rimmed, and there's going to be some contact and a foul there from Sam Toloese on Tom Child.
Yeah, that was the most interesting matchup I've seen, I think, this year. Ben Dixon on Lee Hodges. Just couldn't find a way through.
It was quite interesting to see him pull 7 moves and Hodges sort of stay where he wanted to stay.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is DC back in the game, which was called for by the viewers. Ross Stepney saying we need DC back in.
A junior legend. Good to have Ross with us.
Nearly the starters back in for Essex, with the exception of Tyrese Hudson, who is playing well at the minute. Rockets to zone, I think. Bit of an extended 2-3. Einen from way, way back. And it's the first look at KV Live into the game. Pressure up the floor again from the guards. And I think this is a good way to play Reading, if I'm being honest. Pick them up early, sometimes struggle to get in their offence, and you already see there's kind of 10, 12 ticks off the clock before you really get into anything.
Absolutely. I think Tom Chard does a really good job of picking up full court. And that's a tough one for Baines there.
Finger roll from Baines and cleared out by Hudson. No call from the officials. Interesting one. Einen on the curl, drops it off to Hudson again, and he will lay that one past Danny Carter.
Jake Einen really creating a lot of offensive opportunities for the Rebels.
This time, Pinnock all the way in. I think he's fouled by Hodges. The tricky Jake Einen with the spin, no look. Hudson thought about the dunk. Lays it up instead. Coach Pearson demanding of the officials. What did they see on the last call? 2 guys on the floor, a lot of contact, but no call.
Yep, so the answer, nothing.
Absolutely fair. While Reece Pinnock is on the free throw line. No, there's something on Baines there.
Yeah, just that's a warning for Baines.
Okay. Where is Mr. Carter? Mr. Carter is at the back of the press. Wearing number 12 this evening. You will see him. Ball kicked and out of bounds will stay with Essex. They lead this one by 11. Just under 3 to go. Einen, Childs, the Winter brothers, and Hodges in the game. Rory Winter on the drive. He's fouled by KV Live, I think. We'll just try and see. No, that's on 12. That's on Danny Carter. Subs in. Just seeing, is that his second? It is his second foul of the evening. Rory Winter to the line. As I say, we'll have Director of Coaching Matt Johnson with us at halftime. That means you're on tea duty, Fish.
Yeah, that's fine by me, no problem.
If you do have any questions around the recent BBL application, which the Reading Rockets have put in, please do put them into the comments section of YouTube. We'll have them for a good 8 to 10 minutes, so we can definitely get through a lot of this. I've also been fairly close to this BBL bid, so I can probably add a little bit in there, I think.
Absolutely.
KV Live goes high-low with Carter. There's a lot of people flat on the baseline, hard to find an out. So Carter spins to his right shoulder, doesn't get that one to go, and the big men still a lot of contact. This is Rory Winter. They've been great from behind the arc so far. This one no good. KV needed to put a body on. Hodges doesn't. Hodges with the little scoop inside, and Einen with the up and under finish.
Yeah, the Rebels really hammering home their advantage inside. Able to release players on the perimeter.
Great find from KV Live on the high-low, and that's Hodges who fouls Carter. He will go to the line for 2. Didn't catch how many fouls that was on Hodges. Maybe his first, I think.
Yeah, I think it was.
Contact from the big men, but as a great find from KV with the high-low, something that Coach Pearson works on.
Something he works on. I think he's also learning from Carter. Obviously, last week with Lou Phil, he did a really good job with the high-low stuff.
Hodges, little cut from Childs along the baseline, and the soft touch doesn't go this time, and Carter clears and finds Baines to 1:30 to go. 12-point ball game, 48-34 to the visiting Essex Rebels, and Carter will get another touch guarded by Einen, but may well be sat in a little 2-3 zone and on the floor, and Einen takes that one. Although I believe that will put Carter on the line. Didn't see the team fouls there.
Yeah, experience from Carter going at the mismatch and drawing the foul, putting him on the foul line.
Danny having to play probably more extended minutes, I would say, today, more than he probably wants to with Lufiel out on the floor. But as he's injured with this knee injury, going to probably have to play extended minutes today.
Yeah, it looks that way. He'll be working hard to manage those minutes. Makes 2 from 2, really important free throws as the Rockets look to get it under 10 before halftime.
8 points, 3 rebounds for the Rockets legend Danny Carter out of retirement for the second half of this season. Rory Winter, Tom Child and Ben Winter. This is now another find from Hodges goes awry, but this is Einan and skied for by Toloazy. Now Baines looks at it, gets Child in the air, doesn't go for it. DC a foot back, and he buries it. Timely make from Danny Carter, and it's under 10 with under a minute to go.
Big basket from DC there, getting the Rockets a little bit of momentum as we head into the last minute.
Rockets zone press into zone, and it's Einan on the cut again. Lovely movement off the ball by Jake Einan, who gets another 2 and keeps the double-digit lead. 30 seconds, shot clock at 20, game clock about 8 seconds ahead. Toloazy just shuffles his feet, gets inside for 2, and it will go back under 10 again. Shot clock turned off, 15 seconds to go in this one. Rockets need a big stop to keep this under 10 at the half. Tom Charles with the pull-up over DC, way off, but it's Ben Winter on the follow. Couldn't find out which Winter brother it was, and I think they will count this one. It looked good to me. What did you think, Coach?
Yeah, I think he probably just got it off on time. Let's see what the officials, yeah, they are confirming that. So the basket will count.
So we will go into the half, 52-41. Ben, I'm going to leave you to give your summary as I try and catch up with Tyler Carteno before the half. So tell the people your view on the first half.
Sure, well, a very high-scoring first half. I think the Rockets will not be happy with their 52 points that they've given up. So I imagine Coach Pearson will be talking about how his team can stem the flow. A number of baskets coming against their 3-2 zone late in the second quarter. Rockets with 41 points of their own, so they'll be pretty happy with how they're ticking along there. But yes, lots to talk about during this halftime interval.
Joined by Tyler Carteno just at the half. Essex leading this one by 11. Really fast first half, but can't stop Essex so far.
Yeah, defense is going to be something we definitely want to make an adjustment on at halftime right now. I'm sure Coach will get on us a little bit about that, and we're going to hold each other accountable too, so it should turn around in the second half.
So first game back for a while, good few games out, leading all scorers. How are you feeling?
I feel good. I just wanted to come in, have a lot of fun, do what I love, do what I'm here for, and it's been working for my offensive game at least.
Awesome. Get back into the locker room. See you next time. Commentating.
So the interesting words from Carteno there. Big emphasis on the defensive end, as we suggested, that giving up 52 points in that first half, very high numbers for the Rockets. So he'll go into the locker room and talk things over with his teammates.
Well done, Fish, for holding that down while I ran down the leading scorer of the game, Tyler Carteno.
You did a fabulous job, Mark. So well done with that. Interesting to hear Carteno's thoughts, for sure.
Thanks, everybody, for the comments on the stream. LeVar Ball, who I always like joining because it's not LeVar Ball, but yeah. I really do like you joining every week. Thanks everyone else for the comments. Nick Whitfield, the Ben Winter soldier. Nick, another Rockets legend, loves a pun. I'm going to hold tight for a few minutes while Matt Johnson maybe or maybe not joins me. I will leave the highlights on during the half. Do stick around, leave your phones on the stream. get the watching figures up, and hopefully we'll be joined by Matt Johnson in a couple of minutes. That's our cue to go and have a quick break. I'll be back in 2. Good first half, Ben.
Yeah, good stuff.
So for everybody who's stayed the course while I tracked down Director of Coaching Matt Johnson, well done to you, because we are joined by the man himself. Here he is. And we're going to speak all things BBL, because it's been the big news. Well, I gave you a clue ahead of time.
Yeah, right.
It's been the big news in British basketball kind of this last couple of weeks post the application. So you can see tonight we've got absolutely loads of fans here. There's got to be 100 kids out there, all hooping.
Yeah.
Tell us about this bid and what it means to kind of have all these people in the house and the direction the club's going.
You know, I asked that the other day, and the first thing is ambition, and I think in anything you do, you should be ambitious. Well, we say that to the kids, the coaches, parents, everyone. Don't we? So I think you have to live that as well. I think the club's had that ambition for quite a while, but not maybe had the infrastructure or the people in the right places. I mean, you can see it here, can't you? I mean, Reading needs a BBL team. There's, I don't know, 300, 400, 500 people. It feels like about 10,000, doesn't it? Which is great. And it's in an old arena. You know, we need something new. The sport deserves something new. And I think the people that have worked so hard around it, you know, there's hundreds of volunteers. You can't name them all. And I think it's the right time for us to make a professional step. So ambition is one thing. I did say and got told off saying, you know what, it's only 12 more guys. I kind of played it down. So it's only 12 more guys, but when you see how many people are in the vicinity and they're playing 1,000 kids a week are roughly playing, well, does 12 more matter? It does matter, because it really profiles the sport and really says to those youngsters, actually, you can play professionally. not just because you enjoy it. You can actually make a living of doing this. And that's something that I think every young basketballer should be ambitious for if they're on the performance path.
I think you've alluded to so many good points there, and we'll never be able to cover them in the kind of 7 minutes we've got. But I think one of them, as you say, Reading's a big city, good, south central located city. Really good for kind of pathway performance, having a top regional kind of program, and. But the one thing I do want to cover is, like I said, there's a lot of talk about the application and that kind of thing. But you and I have been fairly close on putting together what we believe to be a bit of an unbelievable kind of executive board behind the scenes, because we are going into this as you and I admitting to each other we don't know that much about the grand scheme of things, but we've got some guys on board that really do.
Yeah, and I think it's wisdom, isn't it? In any business, you surround yourself by people that do things better than you. And I seem to become an expert because everyone seems to be more knowledgeable than me. But on a serious note, some of the people that we've been speaking to are, they run world businesses. They're global people in the sports scene, and that's what basketball does lack as well. It does lack at the top level, outside of the BBL. People that have gone off, had careers in high-level professional sport, not just our sport, and then they can come back and say, no, there's a better way to do this, and there's a higher standard that we should be keeping ourselves to. And we're fortunate to have 4 or 5 of these guys and people around us that are now attracting other people to say, you know what, I want to be involved in that. So there's, a blend of volunteers and some incredible people, but not just that. You have to have the business behind it. And this is what the BBL stands for us. It will remain a family club, but it will be a family club with a business strand right through the middle of it to take us into the next 25 years, hopefully.
Absolutely. And I think this is some of the good things that you and I talk about that I think people who follow Reading and British basketball won't see, is that there's the noise about the bid.
Yeah.
And it's a great document. It's 50 odd pages long. It's really good.
Yeah.
But what they don't see is when you and I catch up every day or every couple of days, that there's been another meeting. There's been more talk of investment, finances. So there's just loads of stuff going on from that point of view. And I think if we take the business part of it out, you're now seeing this as a really interesting step to the pathway, aren't you? We've been very keen on this for many, many years. I mean, the fact that you and I have sat here after a meeting 23 odd years ago, and the pathway's going, you're now adding this other layer to the pathway and wanting to do it the right way, right? Paying young British players and paying professionals to come in and form a good team. Yeah,
and I think wanting to be a team of destination where people want to come to, and I think one of the things that we've looked really hard at across the world, and I was speaking to Warwick Can, who's in Australia, and some other friends around the world, about a real professional club looks after their players and their coaches, hence why you've seen Coach Titmus coming back on board and with a slightly different role, and you'll hear more about that in the next few weeks. But also the way that we're looking at how can you be a place of destination where players come and they get better because they get the attention of the coaches. You're not just here to do a job that year. We want to make it somewhere you want to feel you can stay and you can improve. And if you go off because you can earn more money and things like that, great. But, our job is to make it a really, really good environment where players will work hard to want to be there. Yeah, I think the other part of that is, and I should probably get you out on this question, is that, well, not question, more of a comment, but that's been part of the other bit for you and I, especially on kind of our journey since sort of linking back up in the last couple of years, is how do we professionalise the other bits too, not the playing bit? And there's been a lot of talk for us, isn't there, about not just saying, oh, hey, we want 50 volunteers, we don't want to pay anybody. It's more like, no, how do we get these people paid and feel like they're contributing a part of the team, not just a volunteer? There's a lot of, and we know we're not the only club. I saw Milton Keynes posting paid coaching jobs and full-time. Beautiful.
There's loads of stuff happening, but that's a real key to it as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's a great question to end on, because professionalisation doesn't just start and finish with the players. It has to come with the staff, has to come with the club. We've always had a real journey towards creating the funding that you can pay coaches to be for what they actually are doing, which is deservedly of receiving income for that. So you can be a volunteer, but you can also be a career coach, and you can feel as though I'm coming through with the under-12s now, and in 8 years' time, I might well be a full-time pro. So I think all those things need to work together and hand in hand. They go at different speeds. And the same for the women's program. I spoke to Candela today, the captain, or yesterday, for a few hours about phase 2, being we then take the ladies on the same journey. But we need to learn first and get all that right. So as much as the Rockets will have learned from halftime and hopefully get the second half more right, Mark. How about that for a segue?
Superb segue.
Doing
I mean, really good catching up, kind of 3 or 4 questions. We'll need to do a longer version of this at some point. But as you say, exciting times, and I think if anybody is interested in coming on this journey and you have experience, or even if you don't, of being in sports and professional sports, like we said, it doesn't have to be basketball. We've got the board is filled with people who do all sorts of different things. So reach out. We're on all the socials. You can find us everywhere, and we just want to take as many people on this journey as we can. Matt, I'll let you get back to watching the game, as you've been doing a lot of that. It's good.
I know. I've never done that before for a while,
It's 52-41 as Matt grabs his tee. I will grab mine too. Let's hope that the Rockets come out stronger in the second half. We will see you in about a minute. We're at the Rivermead Leisure Complex. We're back. Matt has gone. Ben is back. Ben, how are you?
Yes, I've had a lovely half-time.
I don't want to say that my tea has not been refilled, but it hasn't been.
Apologies, there was a big queue at the refreshments area, so I couldn't get in.
Even the legend that is you, the VIP.
I was going to say, even with my status, that sounds so arrogant, doesn't it? So I'm not going to say that.
We all know what you mean. So, brilliant stuff here. The Essex Rebels are leading this one. If you're just joining us, it's 52-41. It's been a really, really interesting first half. Reading getting it under 10, but the hot shooting of Essex have kept them out in front by a decent margin.
Yeah, indeed. Be interesting to see how the Rockets fare.
This is back underway here in the third quarter. Carter, Carteno, Dixon, Pinnock and Baines, and it's Baines on the skip to Pinnock, and he will make a 3-point jumper from the corner.
Good early basket from the Rockets. Important one as Pinnock knocks down the corner 3.
Got it to 8, and I wonder what Coach Pearson has said at half-time. Will it be the defensive end? It probably is. They're conceding too many points, and this man is responsible for a lot of it. Is Jake Einan chased around, but Hodges just wide open inside, blows the layup, and I find this really interesting. Loads of contact again, but because he's 6'9", 6'10", and very big, there's no calls. We see the same sort of call on the other end with Tom Child, and it's whistled. Do you think it's tough for the big men in this league?
Yeah, I do. I think interior, refereeing the interior is pretty tough as it is. But I think you sometimes get penalised for your size as well. I think we've seen probably more offensive fouls this season against 4s and 5s than we have in recent years. So
I mentioned before on the stream, do you think it's because we don't produce many and it's not something we see week in, week out for officials, that it is hard when you do get two genuine bigs, it's hard to
absolutely.
officiate?
As I say, I think it's a difficult area to officiate anyway. As the Rockets pick up a 5-second violation against the Rebels.
Yes, they've come out with some full court pressure. They've got the lead to 6. Rockets behind 52-46. Thanks everybody who joined us during the halftime show. Matt covering some of the BBL news and news of the bids. That was great to catch up with him, and we sort of covered the excitement. This is Pinnock and Carter, high screen and roll, and Baines against Einan. Step back, mishandled it, but still gets it to go. Nice from Jazz Baines. An early timeout from Ross Norfolk as Jade loves that one on the baseline.
Yes, indeed, and it's a 4-point game after just 1 minute, so Coach Pearson will be very happy with how his team have come out of the halftime interval. That's not something they've done particularly well in recent weeks, but yeah, they've got it back. They've defended better by the looks of things. It'd be interesting to see what's going to happen moving forward.
So just as our social and media extraordinaire Todd Lindley tunes in and says, I've just tuned in. Firstly, I'm a little bit disappointed. It's the third quarter. Don't know where you've been. Secondly, for anybody else, Mishak Lufil is nursing a bit of a knee injury, and he's just trying to get to good health pre the playoffs. I think that's the idea, and this one just taking the week off, but not too severe that you won't see him again this season. Fish, what do you think Dan Pearson said? Although the energy's been good and Rockets have cut the lead, do you think it's something tactical or simply just upping the energy a bit?
Well, I think he'd be looking at how they're going to defend Hodges. Carter, I think, probably just made the decision to switch on that last pick and roll, which gave Hodges the roll, but you can see they helped a lot. And this full court pressure seems to be causing a few issues for the Rebels. Let's see if they can get past it.
Rebels getting a bit of their own medicine as Einan goes inside out dribble, up and under finish. Beautiful from Jake Einan as he goes back to the line for the &1.
Yeah, Einan very good downhill, not just his perimeter shooting, but he plays really well off the bounce, getting to the rim.
Absolutely tricky finish inside off the dribble. Lots of noise here in the Mead. It's really ringing through my headphones, so you know it's loud out there.
Absolutely great to have a big crowd in the Mead again this evening.
Baines, Dixon, Pinnock on that perimeter. Danny Carter will pop out, trying to find the hot streak from the first half, Tyler Carteno, and he just gets the nice little roll to go, and his scoring evening continues as Essex have not found an answer to him just yet.
Yeah, quite good putting him in the pick and roll with Carter, so that's bringing Hodges away from the rim.
Something that our resident coach Josh Thorne said, more pick and roll involving Hodges, man. Get him away from the rim. Einan skips one dribble away from Dixon. Long rebound means Pinnock will be out and push. It's 2-2. He will just breeze by Einan for the lay-in, and Reece Pinnock doing what Reece Pinnock does on the break. Pinnock against Child, and Einan fakes the to go round the screen, doesn't do it this time, and now we're off and running again. Tyler Carteno also good in transition, 2-on-1. Dixon just holds this one and lays it in. The Rockets are rolling now. It's a 1-point ball game. 7:30 to go in this third quarter.
Great defense by the Rockets, forcing the Rebels to take shots they don't particularly want to, and then playing in the transition, which is a big strength of this home team.
Hodges thinking about the 15-footer, doesn't, and Einan just fumbles it and skips by Carteno. And he keeps his tally going for the evening, and the Rebels get it back to 3. This is Carteno, who is the leading scorer. One dribble pull up again, back rim this time, and cleared by Rory Winter. Hands it off to brother Ben. Einan, I thought he was going to pull that one as well. He's having that sort of evening, doesn't, and this is Child. They'll go inside to Hodges against Carter. Hodges does go to the jump shot this time and makes it. Don't see that often from Lee Hodges.
Yeah, just faced up there, knocked down the jumper, and that's given the Rebels a 5-point advantage.
Dixon hands off to Baines. He'll rip through, but defended well by Rory Winter. Still gets by, and Jazz Baines with the pretty move and finger rolls it in at the end past Hodges.
Big play from Baines there. What a move on the perimeter, and got to the rack really well and laid it in for 2.
Now it's Hodges inside again. Gets himself blocked by the backboard. Just lost his positioning on that one. And now we've got a wedgie. Don't see that often. Pinnock gets that one. This is the infamous photographer shot we've got here on the baseline, where the official blocks all of the action.
Yes, absolutely. But
any photographers on the stream, drop in a picture of a camera or something like that, so I know you've heard me.
Really good backside defense from the Rockets there on that post entry, so that'll be interesting to watch as we move in through this third quarter.
This is Pinnock, screen and roll with Carter. Child just goes under that one, and Jazz, who's been shooting this one well, The bit of a heat check, misses. Carteno may come up with it. Ben Winter just skips away. Finds Rory Winter. Josh Moore in the game. Just about 10 on the shot clock. This is Rory Winter to Josh Moore against Carteno. He'll go screen and roll with Hodges, just rejects it. Nice crossover from Josh Moore, and the officials will count that one. Quite the continuation, but great move from Josh Moore, who goes double crossover to get the finish. Not sure if Jazz Baines was talking to me or you then, but I didn't hear what he said anyway.
I don't think he agreed with the call. I think that's what I deduced from that.
I'm glad we didn't pick it up on the mics. That was probably the safest bet for us.
I think he said something along the lines of, that was not a foul.
There we go. LeVar Ball.
Straight in.
Straight in. He knows what that shot's like. Someone soars in for the alley-oop, and all you get is a shot of the ref's back. Not the one. Interesting call from the official. Out of bounds, it rebounded off of him as Ross Norfolk has done a really nice job this evening of keeping his team just ahead. They lead this one by 5 with about 5 to go in this third quarter. This is Baines, drops one off to Carter. A little handoff with Pinnock, who rejects the screen and goes at Hodges, loses the handle, and this is Ben Winter going in Carteno. He'll fly in, and even the presence of Reece Pinnock, who is a very good chase down blocker, does not stop him. He gets himself 2.
Yeah, great finish by Winter in transition there.
Carteno at Hodges, and he is hammered. Hodges protesting his innocence. I believe the official said it may have been with the body, but certainly looks clean up top.
Yeah, and that's one I think that is really difficult for the bigs in the league. I feel like he was penalised there for his size. He seemed to be vertical. It'd be interesting to see a replay of that one, but
the floor wipers called into action. They were slow off the mark, to say the least.
They were a little slow, but they're on.
They're on, and they're doing the job. We appreciate it. Hodges just coming across, and as I say, he looked clean up top. May have well been the body, as he seems to say it was clean. And Jazz Baines, who's been having a good third quarter, missed his last one, but catching up with Lewis Champion is an exchange of joke. Carteno puts that one in. Probably a good time to have a little look at the scorers here, coach. And it is Carteno and Einan who are having a shootout.
Absolutely, Carteno, big time for the Rockets, coming back after a number of weeks out, making an impact for the home team.
This is Child, Ben Winter, Josh Moore. They're in the zone of Reading, doing a bit of a 1-2-2, little high post, and Tolawese called for the foul and disagrees. Again, difficult to tell whether it's his energy that draws the attraction from the official, whether he's really fouling him with a lot of contact. The replay doesn't look like there's a whole lot, unless it's the hold on the turn, but hard to tell where the whistle had gone then. Rory Winter finds Ben Winter up top against Carteno. They go screen and roll with Hodges. Tries to Eurostep his way in. Josh Moore will pull from the left wing and make it. Called as a 2 on that far side. Must have been a foot on the line. Essex extending their pressure again, which, as I said in the first, I think is a good idea against the Rockets.
Yeah, it certainly helped them so far in the game.
Carter and Hodges. Hard to... There's a lot of contact down there, and again, neither one of those two is going to give up any of the space, are they? And Hodges seems to do a pretty good job standing up. May have been the help down from Josh Moore where the foul was.
Quite possibly. That's a tough one, but great experience from Carter. Up and under move.
We like that one. We don't like the free throw, but it is breezy in the Mead, back door.
Absolutely. A little chilly, a little windy.
Carter uncharacteristically goes 0 for 2. usually a good free throw shooter. FC video in the house, they know that shot as well, where officials get in the way. Also no FC video from the football days. May well be somebody on the stream team who does a bit of work for FC video. No names to be said. Tom Child on the drive, the cutting. Rory Winter puts that one in.
Yeah,
Essex have got this back out to 9.
Been a big issue for the Rockets, that off-ball movement from the Rebels. They've done a great job. They've been relentless with that in this game.
Carter and Hodges again looking for the skip, finds Champion, who's been quiet, but Tolowase's got a good matchup. Just spins the right-handed hook against Child, and that will be a tough matchup for Tom Child if he gets put on the block by Tolowase again. 7 to go. Mead is getting a bit noisy. Sorry, 7-point ball game, 3 to go. Mead getting a little bit noisy. Bailey Boom Tustin over there trying to rouse the crowd. Rory Winter with the triple and buries it. It feels like Essex have done that all game. Anytime it gets close, they can find a 3 and they extend the lead again. Yeah,
they're shooting the ball really well in this game, and that is really what is helping them spread the offense.
Baines on the back cut runs into Hodges, and now Essex are out on running 3-on-2. It's Winter against Carteno. Lots of contact, nothing doing, and refs letting that one play, saying verticality maintained. Champion finds Carteno, gets a bit of time to look at it. He'll go inside, bounce off Hodges, and nearly gets the and 1, but he will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, good play, good pick up by Baines after the miss there by Winter, and some good transition play we can see here. Little bump on Carteno, just couldn't get it to go, but we'll go to the line for 2.
Tyler Carteno still forcing the issue. He's got 21 points on 9 of 11 shooting. Doing a good job this evening is Tyler Carteno, and the other man pushing the tempo is Jake Einan. He's got 19, shooting 8 for 14. He's 6 for 6 from 2. Danny Carter takes a seat, and Jazz Baines gets some instructions on the bench.
Yeah, Lee Hodges also out for the Rebels, so it'll be interesting to see both teams going a little bit of small ball here.
Nearly stolen by Carteno, and I was about to save him. Nearly got a face full of Carteno.
Quick reactions there, though.
Still
got it.
It was really just the equipment I was protecting. It was not anything else. Not you, certainly.
No.
Just the equipment.
And that's fair.
More Ben and Rory Winter puns in the chat. Winter is coming.
Yeah, big fan of that one.
And this is Rory Winter against Lewis Champion. Tries to get by him. Great help from Pinnock, who had 2 hands on the ball. He'll get his own rebound, and Pinnock will just tap that one away. And out on the fly is Tolowase. He should lay that in. And Tyler Carteno on the follow with the tip.
What a pass that was, though, in transition. And great job by Carteno on the glass.
Nice find from Lewis Champion. Carteno there to clean it up. 6-point ball game, 1:30 to go. This is Ben Winter this time against Carteno. Defends him well, stops him on the baseline. Now dropped off to Akpofor, who dribbles his way inside, nothing doing, and Rockets are out and running again. Carteno free on this left wing. May go inside to Tolowase. They find Dixon instead, who goes high-low. Difficult angle, and the ball is firing around from Reading, and Pinnock. Little Euro step and finish, and that's lovely from Reece Pinnock.
And really good inside-outside movement there from the Rockets. Got the ball into Tolowase, found a pass on the opposite wing, kicked it to Pinnock in the corner, and his baseline drive resulted in a layup for 2.
Coach Norfolk still maintaining this 4-point lead for Essex as Tolowase tries to blow up the handoff with Einan, and a quick whistle there on Champion, who rubs his head as he tries to find the answer. Rye smile. That is his 3rd. He picked up 2 early ones, actually, in the first half. So haven't seen a lot of Lewis Champion, who continues to debate the arm movement on the foul. This is Einan at the top for Essex, going through Winter and Josh Moore, who just be able to split a bit of the defence there and walks his way to the rim for the finish. 6-point ball game still. Champion to Dixon, this time Carteno, who will See if he can get a bucket with 14 on the shot clock. Nearly throws it away, but Tolawase now in the hands of Champion. 9 on the shot clock. Turns the corner, and Pinnock, who made the last layup, just back rims that one, thought it might go, and Einan away with 12 to go in the third quarter. This is Winter. Little hesitation and just walks his way, and nice from Rory Winter. 5 on the game clock. Tyler Carteno will have time to fire this one up. He'll just walk his way to the rim. End to end from Tyler Carteno, and he gets it at the buzzer. 6-point ball game. Time and score mastered well by Carteno. Goes end to end. Keeps the Rockets within 6, and the tempo maintains, Coach.
Yeah, that was a pretty important one. I think Coach Pearson will be frustrated by those last couple of baskets from the Rebels. I think they're avoidable ones. But the Rockets have played better in transition. They have defended some parts better. I think they've still given up quite a large number of points in that third quarter. So let's see if they can keep stemming that flow and regain the lead at some point.
Carteno, as you saw, the beautiful coast to coast, as you say, quite an important basket. 6 rather than 8, 2 possessions. You know, quite good for the mentality going into the fourth. Coach, while you gather your thoughts on that one, let's just have a little look at the scorers and think about what this fourth quarter is going to look like as I click on the wrong tab. So it's Carteno leading everybody with 27. Tyler Carteno putting together a nice evening's work. Jake Einan with 19, but nice contributions from Rory Winter and Josh Moore, who have 16 and 12 respectively. Carter has 13 and Pinnock has 11. Baines with 9 for the Rockets. Hodges leading all rebounders with 7, followed by Reese Pinnock with 5, alongside Ben Winter, and Jazz Baines has 6 assists. Tom Childs has 5. So, Coach, what were your thoughts going into this fourth quarter?
Well, with Carter back in now and Hodges yet to return to the game, I think that's going to be an interesting one. I think we'll see a little bit more inside play from the Rockets. And I think defensively it'll be interesting to see how the Rockets play with the personnel that Essex have currently got on the floor.
All to play for. Tell your friends it should be a good one in this fourth quarter. Josh Moore on the spin. A nice finish from Josh Moore, who just got called hot sauce in the comments and lives up to his impromptu nickname.
Yep, that is why. Great move.
Dixon right back at him and lays it in with the left hand, and that got the bench and some of the fans out of their seat.
Yeah, that's what we've seen from Dixon the last few weeks. He's been pretty solid, and he got himself all the way to the rim there.
Akpofor and Adeyeye in for Essex. Trying to buy Hodges some minutes as Einan off the little curl, and Carter doesn't get that one to go, and Akpofor pulls the trigger and gets it to go on the baseline, and I think everybody thought that was going to miss.
Yes, very fortunate roll there, and that's put the Rebels up 9. It's a big basket.
Carter, a bit strong on the layup.
Yep, little bouncy off the backboard there.
Slightly frustrated Carter. I think he wanted the call on this end, and he didn't get it. As Coach said, 9-point ball game. 8:51 to go in the fourth. Good time to, as I say, share the stream, get some more people on board to share in this one. We're full at the Mead, and Tolawase on the spin just blows the layup, gets his own board, and the ability to palm a basketball, very useful for Sam Tolawase.
And what I really like about that play is the ball came inside. Tolawase didn't quite have the position he wanted, threw it back out, resealed, and got it to go.
Great work from Sam Tolawase, who's at the 4 now for Reading. The bench up, trying to get the call to go in their favour as Tom Child will check back in, and Ross Norfolk just barking out some orders on that sideline. Managed the game very well as the coach from Essex. Moore defended by Dixon. Another good matchup here because Ben Dixon, good perimeter defender. Akpofor on the roll, and it's nearly stolen away by Pinnock, who tries to go. It's 3 seconds on the shot clock for Essex. They're really going to have to force this one up.
Yeah, big play here, I think, and these are the ones that Essex have been scoring.
Don't get that one to go as the shot clock ran down, and this has fallen nicely for Pinnock, who will be out and running for Reading. Dixon tries to flatten out the defence, finds Carter on the trail. They'll look high-low. Doesn't get it, as this is Tolawese against Adeyeye. Just poked away as the entry was going into Tolawese. This is Pinnock again. Will go screen and roll, easily switched by Essex, who will have Tolawese now on Einan, and it's going to go the other way. He's being held, and Tolawese shrugs him off, and the official decides that that one should go against Jake Einan. Thoughts, coach?
Yeah, a tough one there. I think Sam T was really fighting for position. As a guard, you tend to try to front any player posting you up that's bigger than you. And a bit of a flailing arm from Tolawese there, so maybe a bit of a clumsy one.
Lewis defending Child and doing a nice job. Adeyeye through Josh Moore, who's been playing well in this fourth quarter, getting to the rim. Einan against Pinnock, 5 on the shot clock. He will have to fire this one up. And this one goes the other way. It's an offensive foul on Akpofor. Another tough one to officiate, those ones where you're running up to screen quickly. Is it still moving? Is he slipping? It's not an easy one to call.
Yeah, especially with the shot clock winding down there. Didn't have a great view of that, but Rockets have got possession as Tyler Carteno comes back into the game, the leading scorer. And be interesting to see how the Rockets fare with him and Jazz Baines, who's been quiet this evening.
I think there's some officiating going on in the comments, of possible flops on, I believe, Einan on the Tolawese one. All and Jackman checking in. Appreciate you joining. Win for Solent yesterday against Leicester, was it?
Yep, Leicester Warriors. Good win for the Kestrels.
Was it close game at the half as well?
It was, indeed, yeah. But the Kestrels keeping top spot.
Appreciate everybody else joining. A lot of love for Josh Moore on the stream. Hot Sauce Moore, as he's going to be known as. Pinnock goes inside with the left, and Pinnock continuing to do his best to keep the Rockets in this. It's a 5-point ball game, 7 to go.
Yeah, great downhill play there from Reece Pinnock, going to the left hand and getting it to go.
Child. There's a push, and it's going the other way. It was a steal from Baines, and Lewis Champion took the charge that time.
You can see the adjustment the Rockets made there with Josh Moore going to the spin often. The Rockets were in the gap this time, managed to come up with the steal and draw a foul.
Couple of fans down by us, like that one from Lewis Champion. He's in with Pinnock, Carteno, Baines and Carter. Rockets within 5. Looking for a score on this one. It's Baines who, tricky set of crossovers. It's Carter from behind the 3. Doesn't get that one to go as he was challenged by Hodges. Tom Child against Pinnock. Great defense from the former Loughborough man. Baines on his own against Child. They'll find the inside look with Hodges, who tries to skip. It's very high, too high for Einan to take down and shoot. Tom Child, 2 crossovers, this time not going, and the ball just hung on the rim for a minute. Rockets come away with it. It's Baines. We'll go to Champion. Little flip inside to Carter. There's contact and doesn't get this one to go, but Danny Carter will go back to the line, and Rockets with a chance to get it within 4. 3.
Or even 3,
I can actually count.
Yep. Maths not your strong point.
No, just doing a job with maths, apparently.
Excellent.
Yikes.
Tough defence by the Rockets there. They've made the Rebels take a really hard shot and played in transition again.
Carter just struggling at the line recently. As I say, usually a pretty dependable foul shooter. We're up at 194. Really good turnout from the stream. So really genuinely appreciate it. It does a lot. We'll do our bit for the BBL bid as well. We can prove that we've got a good live stream as well as a full house. That will help matters. So sincerely, thank you for joining us. Keep the comments coming as we approach the 5-minute mark. There'll be plenty to say.
I think
Ross Norfolk trying to do his bit on the sideline.
I think one interesting thing for the Rockets is the Rebels are in the penalty, so that may have a factor in these last 5 minutes 48.
I've got a bit of a theory about getting in the penalty early, as I think it will lead to Reading getting this one tied before the end. I generally think it's tough to play like that for long periods. This is Einan on that left corner. He's hounded by a combination of Champion and Carter. Stays with Essex, 6 on the shot clock. Einan just been quiet, been held on 19 for quite a while now. Rockets made some good adjustments. The whistles are coming thick and fast here. May well have both teams in the bonus before we know it. This is Tom Child against Pinnock. Just throws it at the feet of Winter so he can't fire off the shot. And this is the spin and lots of contact down there. And Carter, frustrated, thought he had plenty of the ball as OJ mentions Danny himself and says BBL and Danny Carter back. Coincidence? My opinion is it actually is a coincidence.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not.
Who knows?
You'd have to ask Danny whether it's a coincidence that he's back. I think from a operational side, it's coincidental. Whether the motivation for Carter is the BBL, I don't know, is the answer.
That would be an interesting one, coming out of retirement and then stepping up to the BBL.
Play one game and retire again. Blaze of glory.
Absolutely.
6-point ball game, lots of contact, another whistle, and now they will go to line. And this is where I say the team fouls becomes quite a factor. Foul off the ball, Essex defending well, and it's 2 shots. Time stopped, chance to get it closer.
Yeah, and I think lots of stoppages in the game help the Rockets as Carter checks out. So this is the interesting period when they're without possibly a recognised 5 on the floor.
Yep, they'll play that small ball lineup with Tolawase at the 5. Drew Fabricia says Tyler Carteno, GOAT. He's having a GOAT-type performance at the minute. Einan. Rockets will stay in the 2-3 zone, extend the wings just a little bit. Trying to force the ball to the corners. Essex trying to find a way round it. Haven't done so far. 6 on the shot clock. Einan from way deep. Long shot, long rebound, and Josh Moore comes up with that one. Essex will have another go at this. 8 on the shot clock again. Rockets staying with the zone. Deep from Child, and he rattles in a 3. Huge from Tom Child, who was 2-3 feet back from the 3. Massive basket. 7-point game. This is Champion running the baseline at Hodges. Nice cut from Pinnock. And he flips it up. Soft touch. Gets it to go. Rockets within 5 again. Just over 4 minutes to go in the quarter.
Yeah, really exciting finish coming to this game. It'd be really interesting to see.
Moore with the fake. Thought about the 3. And Child, who had the last one. Just, is it a 3-second call?
Was indeed, yeah. Hodges was fighting for position from different angles. The ball didn't arrive to him, and he got called for it.
Got some greetings from Denver, Colorado. It's very snowy there. One of my best friends has recently moved to Denver, Colorado, so I know the weather. It's snowy.
Feels like it's snowing here.
Yeah, it does. This is Champion on the left wing. There's that flare screen that Coach spoke about earlier. Nice cut off the ball from Pinnock. will kick to Carteno. He had a look at it, gets himself inside and lays it over the rim with the left hand, and Rockets are within 3:42 to go. We again have a great finish here as the Mead is getting loud.
Nice patience from the Rockets there as they kicked it to Carteno, had that advantage downhill.
Josh Moore, who's had a great third quarter, this one just back rimmed, and Pinnock pushing the tempo again. This time it's Baines who's shot well so far. He'll run along the baseline and reset. There's 16 on the shot clock. Reading with some time can tie it or cut it to 1. It's Carteno and Einan. This another great cut from Pinnock. Champion in a spot he likes, and he makes it, and the Rockets are tied.
Real nice patience from the Rockets there, moving the ball really, really well, finding LJC on the perimeter as he knocks down the 3.
Massive. And the Mead is really loud here. We're over 200 viewers. This is exactly what we wanted, Fish. Einan, can he silence the crowd? Goes at Pinnock, he's bumped, and referee will call that, and Jake Einan will go to the line.
Yeah, Jake Einan continuing to be aggressive against his matchup. Reece Pinnock's done a really good job so far on the drive, but 2 shots will follow.
The massive 3 that rattled in from Lewis Champion, but the stalwart Jake Einan for Essex keeping it a close game, and lots of love from across the globe, and plenty of love sent back from Reading in West Berkshire. Colorado checked in, California, Billings, Montana, family of Coach Pearson. We appreciate you all. Let's get back to business. 2:30 to go, 2-point ball game. This is Carteno and Baines. The flare screen to Carteno, who then re-screens with Tolawese. He goes all the way at Hodges, bumped and finish. Flexes on him on the baseline. And this one could be the one that puts Rockets ahead.
Yeah, another great finish by Carteno. It's a real tough one, finishing against a 7-footer, but he made it look easy, protected the ball and put it in.
Makes the free throw. It's 3 points the old-fashioned way. Sam Orton, another Rockets legend, checking in. Hope you're well, mate. We've got a good ball game here. Rockets now lead by 1. 2:20 to go. The Mead is rocking. This place is BBL ready. Hodges at Baines, who takes the charge. Clever play from Jazz Baines. Bailey Boom loves it on the far side. Rockets with a chance to extend their lead.
And we talked earlier about that backside help, and Jazz Baines was there really quickly and has made a big play with Lee Hodges fouling out the game.
Wow. Massive. The Rockets are blasting off. I love a pun. Coach Norfolk just trying to find the answer. Can he hold on? They've been leading almost the whole way.
Danny Carter's come back into the game for the Rockets as Orlan Jackman suggests a Tolawese winner.
A Tolawese windmill dunk winner.
That would be incredible.
The fact that he can do it at his age is just incredible.
Absolutely.
2:14 with us. Let's go Rockets, let's go. Rings out across the Mead. Both teams in team fouls. A little bit of extended pressure from the Rebels. If the Rockets score here, the roof's going to come off this place. Carter with the catch down low. Wrestled by Einan. Just leaves the double team. Carter with the step through. Lots of contact and can't get it to go as he was played by Tyrese Hudson. Carter showing the shimmy shake, the pivot, the step through, the whole repertoire on that one.
Absolutely, and that's the experience that the Rockets may have lacked earlier on in the season. And Danny Carter, very patient, draws the foul and goes to the line for 2.
Both teams in team fouls. May have sounded like faults, but it's fouls. Coach, really quick explanation of team fouls.
Team fouls, yeah. Once you pick up 4 fouls on the 5th foul in the quarter, it automatically becomes 2 shots as Carter goes 1 from 2.
better from Danny at the line, and as both teams are in team fouls, they will go to the foul line for each personal foul from now on. Tom Merrill says, good D, Tyrese Hudson, and he's probably right. Tough matchup for him. Rockets lead by 2, 1:45 to go. Dixon against Child. This is Ben Winter. Pinnock gets over the Hudson screen. Josh Moore, who's been crucial for Essex here, and Tyler Carteno definitely fouled that time. I had a good view of that. I can confirm. Good decision from the referee.
Yeah, he was challenging that one. He was saying, I was vertical. If we watch it again on the replay. And looks like the extension of the arm is what's caused that foul. So 2 shots to come.
Excellent work from the stream team crew, and the noise in the mead means that Josh Moore missed his first. Rockets will maintain their lead. The Rockets rumble. Doesn't put Josh off this time as he makes the second. 1-point ball game, 1:30 to go. Tolawase, Baines, Pinnock, Carter and Carteno. Carteno on the far side looking for the skip. Josh Moore there on the help. They'll go to high screen and roll instead. Baines needs to fire this one up. Does from deep. It's going to be short, but does get the rim, so no violation. Essex clear, and Einen's out on the run, and he's fouled by Carteno, and that's really tough. But Einen will go back to the line, and this is where team fouls becomes crucial.
Indeed, and that's quite a smart play by Jake Einen. He's done that all evening for the Rebels. Play really fast in transition.
Floor wipe required, and our guys doing the floor wiping, doing a terrific job. As Einen gets set up at the line. Both coaches with 2 timeouts, I think we'll probably see them.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Einen with a chance to give his team a 1-point lead at this visit.
Few comments about Ross Norfolk before the game and his game management and the job he's doing, and done a pretty good job this evening.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can see why the Rebels have been in a lot of close games this year.
Einen misses the first as the Rockets rumble, gets another one. Bailey whipping up a storm over there, and it's missed 2, and Carteno clears, and there's still a 1-point ball game. Rockets lead this one, 1 minute to go. This is a great time to get everybody to join the stream as they try and hand off to Carteno through Tolawase. They don't, as Pinnock tries to turn the corner. Great hands by Josh Moore, and it's going to be Pinnock to the crossover. Gets all the way down the lane. A lot of contact, nothing called, and Essex will have a chance to get ahead, and this is where we will see some timeouts. Einen to Child, deep one. Rims out, and Tolawase, big clear, and there's still time. Looks like Essex will play this one straight up. There's about a 6-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Pinnock nearly trips. It's Baines who is good one-on-one. It's going to be one-on-one versus Moore. 7 on the shot clock. Jazz to the crossover. Down the lane. Shovels to Carter. Up and under and finishes! Danny Carter goes up and under off the Jazz Baines assist. Timeout, Ross Norfolk. This place is jumping.
What a play from the Rockets. Jazz Baines setting himself up to go downhill. Draws the defense, dumps it off to Carter, and Carter with the up and under reverse for 2. What a play.
It's now 89-86, 9 seconds to go. The Essex Rebels are down. Rockets lead this one. The double crossover, the shovel from Jazz Baines, and Danny Carter rolling back the years with a skying up and under the rim.
Great move from the Rockets veteran.
And he is pumped up. He loved it. What is Coach Norfolk saying here? What do you think they try and get? Need the 3, right, with 9 seconds to go?
Yeah, you'd imagine so. They've run some pretty good out-of-bounds stuff. We could see maybe an elevator here for either Einen or Child. It'll be interesting to see what they come out with. 9 seconds, still lots of time to play. Maybe he runs a little something in the half court.
Lots of love for Danny Carter from former players and friends, and the big man still got a bit of juice in the tank. The Rockets crowd trying to pump this one up. Essex will try and do the same for a make.
Indeed. It's the big one. Here we go.
Watch Jake Einan, who I think may see a couple of screens as he pops out. There's the elevator that you called, Coach, and he's defended by Toloese. Einan with the pull-up. Front rims it. Rebounded by Bays, and this one should nearly be over. He escapes along the baseline, but out of bounds. And the lifeline thrown to the Essex Rebels. There's 0.5 on the clock, but I think they may well put a second back on. With 0.5, they can't win this one. Timeout, Coach Norfolk. Will they put any time back on the clock, Coach?
Well, they're calling the officials over now just to discuss. I think that's going to be quite critical in terms of the Ross Norfolk timeout.
Well, 0.5 is not enough for a catch and shoot. You need the old Derek Fisher rule. You need 0.7 absolute minimum to catch and shoot.
Absolutely. Derek Fisher, Ben Fisher, one in the same.
Nice of your uncle.
Cool. Yeah.
To make that one.
Absolutely.
There's the Einan 3, front rims it. I mean, he's made plenty of good big shots. And there's the Baines rebound. He's trying to escape the fouls and must have stood on the line. Still some conferring over at the table, whether there's going to be some time put back on the clock.
Yeah, let's see. Nothing's come back on the clock yet, but the official's still discussing it, maybe waiting for the end of the timeout. But it does appear to be remaining at 0.5 seconds mark.
We are still pumping it up here in the Mead.
Don't foul.
Do not foul. Maybe Coach Norfolk runs something to get fouled as only out with this much time on the clock. 0.5 to go. Reading lead this by 3. Essex need a 3. They've got it on the baseline. Einan short of time. It's not enough time to get it up, and this place erupts as Reading come out winners after trailing for most of the game. It's 89-86. What a game here at the Mead.
Absolutely fantastic. I mean, for all those that have tuned in, what a treat you've experienced there. The Rebels so unlucky not to come away with the win, but the Rockets never went away, and that is a testament to this team. They kept fighting, they chipped away, they made some heady plays at the end of the game, especially with the Carter finish, and they've come away with a much-needed win. 230
plus people on the stream. Such a great game to tune into. Thank you so much for interacting and being part of it. It's always better when we have a nice lively comment section and you feel like you're part of it. The Mead has been electric. The place has been rocking. Just leaves me to say, Coach, thank you for joining us. Unbelievable evening.
Yeah, thanks very much for having me. I've really enjoyed our little duet this evening, Mark. It's been a great game. Really thrilling to see both teams in action. Some great basketball.
Amazing. Make sure you check out Reading Rockets on all the socials. They're either at Reading Rockets or at Rockets Reading, depending on what platform you're on. Director's waving mics in my face, so I'm going to go and find someone to interview while you give your final thoughts. Maybe start with Essex and then head to Reading as I go and grab someone to chat to.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Essex Rebels have done a fantastic job this evening. As we said earlier, you can see why they've been in a lot of close games. They took Thames Valley Cavaliers close, and they took Worthing Thunder close recently. They've got a really good backcourt. Their perimeter shooting was excellent this evening. Lee Hodges has done a really good job for them. So yeah, I think that they'll keep working hard to pick up some wins just to avoid being in the bottom two. As for the Rockets, win number 10, I think it is for them, and that's an important one as they try and head towards the playoffs.
joined by Danny Carter as Reading win this one 89-86 after trailing for most of the game. What a game to be involved in.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest here, low energy start, like communication wasn't good enough. We let them kind of get the hot hand early, and we spoke about that at half-time. We spoke about character, you know, whether we're front runners or whether we want to dig in deep, do you know what I mean? So the energy and the effort, communication, guys buying in the second half, like, yeah, I mean, a lot of fun, but, you know, we got to do better from the get-go of these games. And
now, I'm pointing the obvious. You're out of retirement, second game back, and you come up with a game winner. How's that for coming back?
Yeah, it's a team game, you know what I mean? Like, it's nice to score, nice to be on the floor in those moments, do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we're one win closer to, you know, securing a playoff spot, and, you know, that's the main thing that we're doing right now.
And going forward, so you mentioned the playoffs. How's the team mentality going towards the end of the season?
Yeah, like, it's positive, do you know what I mean? Like, since I've come in, like, everyone's been pretty welcoming, but, you know, it's each game matters, you know? Like, we're in a position now where, like, we've got ourselves up to a spot that, you know, we win out, we secure our spot, you know what I mean? We'd have to rely on anyone else, and that's kind of the messages that we've had throughout the week is, you know, we control our own destiny, and it's our responsibility now moving forward.
Absolutely. Danny Carter with us after winning this one, 89-86 for training most of the game. Danny, thanks for joining us, bud.
Yeah, as we finish up here, let's go through the leading scorers from the game. So Tyler Carteno had 32 points for the Rockets as Mark rejoins me. Just going through the top scorers in the game. Just talking about Tyler Carteno's 32 for the Rockets. And Danny Carter, as you've just spoken to, Mark, had 16 points. Reece Pinnock with a 15.7 rebound outing. And for the Rebels, Jake Einan did a great job leading them with 21 points personal. Rory Winter actually finished up with 16, and Josh Moore had 15. And that was a 21-12 final quarter mark that gave the Rockets the win.
Yeah, just a great evening, and as Danny said, you know, felt like they were a bit flat first half, came out and got it done in the second half. So what a great evening. As you see, there's hundreds of kids, loads of action. What a great day at the Mead. If you haven't been to a game and you are local, get yourselves down here. If you are on the stream and feel like someone else might enjoy it, tell your friends. We'll be here next time. Coach, it's been a lovely, lovely evening. And just as I say, thank you to everybody. Join us next time on the stream.
See you next time.